Todmorden, a Pennine town that looks about as pioneering as a steam train and about as modern as yesterday. But within the boundaries of this down-to-earth borough stands the Thing.
The Thing is in fact a house, with the kind of futuristic design that makes the Munich Olympic Stadium seem just a little bit old-fashioned. This luxury detached flying saucer, so ideal for the average Martian with a wife and 2 kids, has been launched onto the market by a local plastics firm, and for the time being, they've parked it here among the craters on a bit of waste ground near their works.
Local architect Jack Taylor acts for the firm.
This is the drawbridge effect. It's a bit like a
The old-fashioned man's castle,
Yes.
that's right. We come up the steps, we find we're in a little entrance hall. I say little, but it combines pretty well everything one could hope for. We have hat and coat hooks here. On this side, we have the toilet, which contains showers, WC, hand basin, all in plastic, and all very well fitted up.
I suppose this is the central living area. It really is quite dramatic, isn't it?
It is, yes. It's rather like walking into an orange, isn't it? Where we have the segments of the orange, which you can peel by merely taking them down, putting them on your wagon, or flying them by helicopter. If you want to do, you can take them into your selected site anywhere in England and re-erect your house where you can have your panoramic views. Surely it takes a lot of beating when you go around and you can turn through 90 to 120 degrees and see all the mountains or whatever you've picked up.
That's all very nice, but what about the practicalities now? You've got to do some cooking.
You have to live in the place, so we have included a kitchen in here, which has got a very small sink, plugs for cooking, cupboards for storing your materials in. When you've cooked your meal, you can bring them out into the central area here, and we suggest you have a table and your own chairs, which you can have your meals at.
And what about sleeping? It's another important aspect.
Very important aspect, isn't
life?
it? Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we have included in here one segment which forms one bedroom. There's one bed within, but it makes quite a pleasant and adequate sleeping area.
It doesn't sleep many, though, does it?
No, but you could, in fact, put another bunk at the higher level. You have your storage underneath and your space for vanity units on there.
Of course, you're going to want to sleep more than 2, aren't you?
Yes, well, you have all this space available here in the evenings, which you can use by your own arrangement.
Yes, it's all very exciting, but it isn't everybody's cup of tea, is it?
You must remember, of course, that architects nowadays are designing so many little boxes that this, to me, is a completely different affair. We have a spherical house. Everything is completely different. We have the doors, which are semicircular, and I would suggest that it is a fun house.
What's not so funny is that a house which would obviously suit Doctor Who down to the ground, or up in the sky for that matter, has so far proved virtually unsaleable to the more conventional class of client. In fact, in 3 years, not one's been sold as a house, which has left the firm a trifle embarrassed.
Mr. Chisnell, what have been the snags over your flying saucer home?
Planning permission, normally.
How does this come about? What's the opposition?
The opposition is that the fire regulations, the house doesn't conform with fire regulations.
What about on the environmental level? I mean, how do local authorities look at a thing like that when they think about having it on their plot?
Very suspiciously.
Why do you think this is?
Probably because it's a new concept and people are somewhat conservative with this type of thing.
What do people say to you, when you try and sell it to them, sell the idea to them?
The general public, great, marvellous, I'll have one, run off and try and get planning permission, come to a full stop.
What do you think the future of this house is?
I think the potential's tremendous for this house. Maybe a bit before its time, but certainly we shall sell plenty of these houses.
Well, despite Mr. Chisnell's optimism, his space-age house has dismally failed to take off so far as the planners are concerned. It's been sitting here on its launching pad for just 3 years now. Excuse me a moment.
We will take you with us. 5, 4, 3.
I'm sorry, they must
2,
have got a wrong number.
1.